Hey everybody. Not sure if this is class. It's more like my backyard. I'm gonna have some guests while we're out here as well. Um, I don't know about you other teachers. I'm really struggling. Struggling with the fact that maybe you don't know this yet. Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, connected with McGraw-Hill, who we all know was the publishing company that we all used to educate our students for all these years. And then sometimes they connected with McGraw-Hill Macmillan, which actually Macmillan is Robert Maxwell's company. Of course, we already know certain things were left out of our books, which is why we supplement. But when we ourselves weren't 100% educated on everything truthful in our history, even like Black Wall Street, I didn't know about that until George Floyd, unfortunately. Redlining, who knew? Many people did, but it wasn't taught to me when I was in school. And it's certainly not something that's in the textbooks now that we teach. And over the last several months, the deep dive I've been doing with, well, it first started with the Epstein files. I tried really hard not to deep dive into it because there's only so much my brain could wrap around. Being a teacher, understanding the horrific pain that these children went through, I'm too much of an empath. So I took in bits and pieces that I knew I could tolerate, and then finding out that several of those conspiracy theories were true. Yeah, Pizzagate. I'm saying it. And then you find out all of those idols that we had were in on it, and your personal political party is also in on it. And I'm not saying that people in the city councils or state, maybe, I'm not even sure, I'm not quite there yet. I still need to keep my deep diving. It's difficult. It's difficult now that I go from that into really realizing that several of their conspiracy theories are actually not conspiracy theories and they're true, and that I need to do more research of my own instead of just listening to what's been given to me, right? This is what we expect our students to do, but we're not actually doing, or we're never expected to do it because we're just using the same textbooks that those people in charge were creating, and making sure it kept us very narrow-minded. So I ended up bouncing from things like different conspiracy theories to what can I do? I'm that person. I needed to know, what can I do, right? When my son was diagnosed with autism, it was, what can I do? I needed to research, what can I do to help? Early diagnosis is key, right? You do what you got to do as a parent, as a human, if that's where we're at right now. I needed to do my own deep diving, needed to do my own critical thinking and my own research and feel in my gut what the truth was. And there's so much, there's so much opening up, right? It's the Great Awakening of 2026. I hope I'm not too late. I don't think I am, but my brain has just been exposed to so much in a short amount of time. Oh, and then that's why, again, bouncing all over the place, end up in the metaphysical world of things, which is ironic because that's kind of where I started when I was a teenager or a kid. I was always the black sheep of the family. I was always the one that was into things that were like woo-woo, and then I find myself back there again at 50. But I need the proof, right? I need the proof. So the CIA files that are dumped from, yeah, I got them. Of course I got to print them out because I have to do my research. I have to do the research. I don't want to just hear it from somebody else. So in 2003, these were approved for release, and I'm not sure exactly when or who. I was one of those really fast Instagram posts that I was like, oh yeah, save that, post that, print that out, and got some codes, realizing that a lot of it has to do with, first of all, metaphysical, right? I mean, the first thing is talking about affirmations and getting yourself in the state of mind. This is what the CIA is telling their workers, their agents to do. And so okay, you know, I'm doing a few of them. And, you know, I resonate. My frequency, I'm learning quite a lot, is a little higher. So just because that's that's where I am in life, right? I've faced a lot of challenges. I've grown a lot. I've learned a lot, reflected a lot, and grown some more. And I'm still growing. And get myself to, where we're at, page 4 here. I'm skipping around here. See, I should have tagged it before I started this little video. This is where I would give my students some pointers. There is a code that gets rid of pain. And I have some pain. I'm supposed to have foot surgery this summer. And, you know, I'm going to take like all of July essentially off to have this foot surgery. And this CIA document says to reduce pain, there's like a whole series of steps here, but essentially there's a number code, and I'm looking at it, 55515. But again, there's like steps that you got to do to just be shouting out the number. I did it and it worked. I have something called hallux rigidus. Look it up, it's a real thing. It sounds like a Harry Potter spell on both of my feet. And it's very painful, and I wear hokas all the time. And I'm a teacher, I stand on my feet all the time. And I did this code thing on my feet, and I have not had pain in 2.5 months. 2.5 months. So, I'm like, wifey, oh yeah, I have a wifey. I gotta cancel my foot surgery. It doesn't hurt anymore. I'm gonna be like, well, yeah, is the hallux rigidus bunion thing, whatever, still there? Yeah, it is. It still doesn't look great. I probably didn't wear the best shoes when I was younger, and you know, I have arthritis, and the bones are gonna continue to form the way they are. But there's no more pain. So if there's no more pain, why am I going to have the surgery? The code works. The code worked. Whether it's my brain or my foot or whatever it is, because it's not in my foot anymore, the code worked. So I'm going, okay, the code works. And still, meanwhile, I'm still doing my meditations, affirmations. Yes, I'm doing all that. Yes, I'm doing a deep dive now and all that as well. And I come across several things like geoculture, which has to do with using copper in your garden. And, well, I'm using copper in my garden. I'm also adding some crystals because I'm learning about crystals as well. Again, back to that connection when I was much younger, in my younger days. It's very interesting how it all interconnects. And when you think about it, astrology, those astrological charts that they have, everything's got numbers on it, right? So we're back to those numbers. When I'm growing things, I have things that should not be growing as beautiful as they are, and they are. Now we had these little babies that I don't know how they survived the frost, but they did. And then as soon as I noticed them, I put these little gadgets in there. Oh, I don't know if you can see them. This copper does like this, I don't know what it's called. I don't know, it's like a rust look on it to it. But they're in there. I don't want to mess them up, but they look like this. Okay. And those broccoli plants have like tripled in size. I'm gonna have to show you a before, but these are the after, and that has only been a week. So in addition, I will show you a picture or a short video, no, probably a picture of what the sky is gonna look like. Well, today it's like a rainy day, but on a day where it's supposed to be a nice clear day, and there are those man-made clouds called chemtrails. Yes, I believe in those now too. My crystals help clear the sky. I have a picture and a video, actually, a very short one. Today, I do not believe that these are man-made right now. Now the sun's going down, so it's also hard to tell. But it worked. And when it's working, I keep doing it. And then I have a gardenia plant that is covered in mites. This is a gardenia plant. I've been dealing with this plant for, I don't know. Oh, I brought it inside in November, and it was covered in mites then, and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna spray neem oil on it every other week. Well, the mites it never got under control. Everything like just blew up, and it had taken those gardenia plants back outside, they're in pots, and was just gonna let them die out here. And I'm also not getting bit by anything because I am surrounded by copper. Mosquitoes don't like copper. I'm so distracted. Sorry, just all these like new pieces of information. Also copper, it's like a conductor. It helps with energy frequencies. Back to frequencies again. Back to coding, right? And numbers. So there's a lot going on in my mind. What I plan to do, instead of a little bit of everything, I'm gonna kind of do a deep dive into each, hopefully. I have my summer coming up, so that's gonna be my plan, because currently I have plants that have lasted through a frost and quadrupled in size due to copper. I have skies that clear, chemtrails. Crystals that clear the sky of chemtrails. I have gotten rid of the pain in my foot using the codes that were in the CIA book. So I am ready to continue my research. I feel like I've gotten enough of my own proof to say, okay, yeah, maybe we weren't taught about the metaphysical world for a reason, and maybe we should be. One last thing, I used a different Hertz frequency music in my classroom the other day. It was incredible the way that it got the students to focus. And it wasn't just like the music, piano, no, it was incredible. And they talk about Hertz frequencies healing different things, and that these codes, because different frequencies have different numbers, right? And these codes, we knew before we came here, and we have forgotten. And what we do remember essentially is what has been pounded into our head from the people that are still in control. So I am really tired of listening to that, and I'm gonna do my own critical thinking, which is what I always tell my students to do. And I'm going to do more research into using copper with my plants, my gardening, using crystals and copper for pesticides, and clearing the skies and the energy around me. I'm going to continue to use codes to help heal myself. I'm going to learn about other codes to see if they work as well. And yeah, I am a believer. I'm also learning that that puts me in the 4D awakening, right? Something like that. Again, I've learned a little bit about everything. I need to do more research about each one. So that's where I'm at, and that's what I'll be doing this summer. Okay, I got it all out, I think. Basically, everything is code, just like your DNA, right? It's coded. It's like how they can find you. Everything's code. Spirituality works. I'm talking about churchy religion. That's what's been taught and forced down your throat. I'm talking about spirituality within, feeling your own inner peace. Yes, it sounds woo-woo. It works. It works. I'm testing all these little experiments out now that I know the people that I thought were in charge are not really the people in charge. There's people up here that are in charge, but actually I'm in charge of my own reality. So that's where I'm going to take it, because this feels like it's productive and something I can do. Yeah, there, I said it. Any questions? Okay, I'll see you in the next class.